No. Sorry.
Damn.
Well, Commander, welcome back to Off the Reel.
Today, we'll be reviewing Creed 2.
Let's do it. So, we've brought the mic back today. We got a few upgrades to the channel today.
Would this be an upgrade? The mic?
Yes. Significant.
So we have a few upgrades today to the show.
A little visual upgrade. Yeah, we're looking snazzy today.
I only do this for my job. I honestly hate it.
I did it because I didn't want to feel underdressed. Yeah, so we got a new camera. It's a Canon T7i. So it's a little better than what we were recording with. What's Creed 2 about, Carson? You haven't even seen those movies. Never mind. Carson's not seen Rocky 2, 3, 4, 5 or Rocky Balboa or Creed 1. I have not seen I have not seen Rocky 5, Rocky Balboa, or Creed 1. But I know the premise of all of them. So
I understand that it's a bunch of dudes fighting.
You missed out on Clubber Lang. You missed out on Drago, which is pretty significant.
I got a little bit of a history lesson this past movie. That's a little bit.
Creed 2 picks up from Creed 1, where I believe he lost just like Rocky did in the first movie. And then at like the beginning of this movie, he like wins the world championship. There seems like there was an interesting movie in the middle there that no one got to see.
I feel like...
or, I don't know, maybe he lost like an exhibition in the first one. Probably should have watched the first one. We were going to, but things got a little hairy for us. I'm sure it was better than this one.
Than Creed 2?
Yes. Because like people loved Creed. So I'm sure it was a superior movie.
That's how most... If there's a sequence to it, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think
Sequel?
of it. Sequel. Thank you. I said sequence. What the hell? Sequel to the movie. It's usually the first one that's always better.
Dark Knight.
Usually the first one that's always better. Airplane. Airplane 1 was so much better than Airplane 2. I'm trying to think of
who's to say for Sharknado? Personally, I think they keep getting better as they go. I've not seen the most recent one, but I am very ready to do so.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But anyways, so wrap up in Rocky 4. You already know these spoilers, so it's whatever. In Rocky 4, Apollo Creed, longtime rival turned friend of Rocky Balboa. Have I said these words right?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Well,
I got lost on which names I was saying. Okay, Apollo Creed, rival and friend of Rocky Balboa.
Yes.
Goes back into the ring to prove he's still got it against the Russian machine, Ivan Drago, and gets like 1-2 punched and just murdered.
Oh yes. It was very traumatic what happened to him.
Yes. Rocky, ultimately, because he is an impenetrable wall of, like, unknockoutablness, eventually beats Ivan Drago in a pretty even match, I guess. He beats him. Ivan Drago goes on to be a disgrace to all of Russia because, he was on roids or whatever and still lost, when in reality, like, he probably would have wiped the floor with Rocky. Cause, like,
and his...
man could punch like a truck.
And his wife.
His wife left him.
Ex-wife now.
Yes. And he had a son somewhere along the way that he has trained, like, all his life or whatever to be this superhuman...
See, that's...
He's basically, like... a discount version of the Mountain.
Looking at
from
it,
Game of Thrones.
looking at it
That you
genetically.
should watch.
Really? Wow. Never thought about it. Like,
Ivan
Jesus.
Drago, dude. When Rocky 4 was around, Ivan Drago was a big dude.
That big?
Not that big.
Because Jesus Christ. We have some technical difficulties. You hearing something come in?
Getting some feedback.
Getting some feedback.
So yeah, this is the battle between the son of Apollo Creed and the son of the man that killed Apollo Creed. So it's a big deal. Adonis is very heated about it. There's a pregnancy coming around. Rocky and Adonis are PO'd at each other, as is standard. You know, I haven't seen a Rocky movie in a long time.
I haven't seen a Rocky movie.
Watching this movie, I got about halfway through and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. The Rocky movies are like 50% sports film and 50% melodrama. Because, like, it's hardcore, just saturated with just depressingly realistic life.
I mean, now obviously we don't live this life, but don't you feel like in a way that's how a lot of these situations go? In real life?
But, like, no.
You don't? Like, I feel like
Boxing in real life is like a hug fest, man.
cite your resources or your sources.
Floyd Mayweather.
Okay, but he just
That's how you hold a world title right there.
that's because he's not married, I don't think, and all he has is money.
Look, that's not what we're arguing here. That is not what we're arguing here. Let's talk about creativity. No.
Experience.
I'm not giving it my point for creativity because it's like it's Rocky's story over again.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the Rocky movies.
Except for Apollo Creed getting killed. Instead, Adonis Creed gets like pretty much killed.
Yeah, I feel like if someone else were just to get up one day and be like, I want to make a boxing movie, it would be like that.
Yep.
It would be basically the exact same thing.
Yeah, so no point for creativity. Plot. It was predictable. It was predictable plot.
Yeah.
I will say there was one thing that I really liked in the plot as far as like me not expecting it. And that was the resolution of the villains' conflict, inner conflict, and conflict against their society. Yeah. That was surprising to me. I thought that Victor was his name. Victor
Drago.
Yeah, I think it was Victor.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that Victor... Is that right? Or am I thinking of another movie I watched recently?
No, it's got to be Victor.
It has to. Okay.
It's Victor Drago. It's Victor.
I thought Victor was going to end up getting pissed off at his dad and be like, oh, you lost. Like, you're not even worthy of me. Like, I'm going to finish this, and I'm going to be the new star of my country or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, I thought there was going to be conflict between them. But then the scene came where they're at the dinner, and it shows you more that, like he's doing this for his father.
Yeah.
Like, his father didn't train him to do this. Like, he actually cares about his dad. He feels his dad was wronged. And like, he doesn't even care about, like, his mother left, and, like, he's at the point where he's like, I just want you and me. Like, I don't need her. She's garbage.
Yeah.
And then the end where, and I saw Drago throwing in the towel. I saw that. But, I don't know, I expected more resistance from, and there was some resistance where he felt ashamed of himself. But Ivan was like, no, it's cool. It's just you and me. Like, we can be father and son, and we can be proud of our own selves.
Now, obviously, I didn't see any of the Rocky movies. I'm going to keep reiterating that. I don't know if this ties into it, but I did not see him throwing in the towel. I don't know why. Just maybe it was because this is my first Rocky movie, or a Creed movie. I was thinking that it was going to... Ivan would end up making the same mistake that Rocky did and not throw in the towel. And then eventually Victor would end up just getting so hurt, and then Ivan would feel bad about it. I don't know why that's where my mind was leading me throughout the movie.
I don't know. I'm not giving my point for plot. it felt like a standard Rocky plot to me, without a lot of the extremes that Rocky went to, because it did get a little campy, but standard melodrama Rocky plot. But I'm just saying that the resolution of the villain, because like he's looking at him and he's like, I don't want to see this done to my son.
Yeah.
And I thought that was actually a rather beautiful little moment.
Another thing that I really liked was at the very end, like after the fight was over, and it wasn't even like in the ring anymore when they were back to their normal lives.
He's running with him and not in the car.
Yeah, like he's still.
Yeah, like I thought it was a very beautiful little ending to their whole motivation in the movie.
Yeah. So,
but I'm still not giving my point.
I'm gonna give it my point.
Okay.
Just because, you know, God, I feel like this is the 30th time I've said it. I haven't seen the Rocky movies, so I don't know if it's a typical plot. He says it is. I haven't seen it, so I'm gonna give it my point.
I don't know. There was a lot of predictability in it. Like, you know, if the fight happens a little way through the movie, you know he's gonna get demolished.
Yeah,
and he does, absolutely.
Like with the fighting, yeah, I could tell what was gonna happen with the fighting, but I liked all the drama because I didn't.
Can I just bring up, like, as far as creativity goes, they totally just 100% never back down to'd halfway through the movie.
They did.
Like, so what was up with that? He was like, I know a place, and they rolled up to like the little desert, like middle of nowhere area, and I was like, are we straight up about to see the mentor from Never Back Down 2?
Dude, if only they would have.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, but like Digimon Hirusu or whatever gonna come back in and be like, I can train you.
Would you have liked it if they like straight up took that and they put the people that acted in Never Back Down and put them there?
I think,
and they were training there. But
I think major misstep not crossing over with Never Back Down.
Yeah,
because frankly, Never Back Down still like even. We need to review Never Back Down, because the one thing you need to look past in Never Back Down is that they're high schoolers. But aside from that, best fighting movie ever.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But like, they totally missed a chance to cross over there. But that just, they went there and I was like, what? What?
This is Never Back Down.
Anyways, characters.
I give it my point, definitely.
It's...
I mean, but then again, one of my... I don't have a favorite actor. I have, like, a list. And Sylvester Stallone is definitely on that list.
Well, the list of your favorite actors is bodybuilders turned actors. It's The Rock, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Sylvester Stallone.
And, I can't remember his name.
No, you hate Vin Diesel, don't you?
No, I love Vin Diesel.
Oh, well, Vin Diesel...
I mean, his acting style is a little childish in my opinion. It's not all that good. But
a few more movies, John Cena will be up there.
Oh, I already hate
Mark Wahlberg. Not quite a bodybuilder, but he had his moment in The Sun with Marky Mark.
He's not wrong.
Anyways.
So I would give it my point.
All right. Well, that's for actors.
Oh, my bad.
So the characters, the concept of the characters. The more I went on, I liked Victor's character. I like Drago. I mean, I think a lot of people would say Rocky 1 and 2 are like the good part of the series, but man, Rocky 4, it's the one. It's the Rocky movie to me. Like, all the iconic moments are in Rocky 1 or whatever, but, like, nothing beats Cold War Rocky film. Nothing beats it.
I'm not going to lie. I don't know if this goes with actors or characters. I had no idea. None that Ivan Drago... And keep in mind, since I've never seen any of the Rocky movies, I had no idea that his last name was Drago. That he was German or Russian, or... It was German? Russian. I had no idea. So, like, I thought he was a typical white dude that fought. And like the first scene where he talked, I mean, I was just like, whoa, where did that come from? That was so surprising to me for some reason.
And one thing I have to commend is Drago, Ivan Drago. He was like roided up. Like they straight up showed them shooting him up with steroids, nice. And like using all kind of measures of science to become superhuman boxer. But like he's just training his kid. I don't think they imply at all that his kid has been roided up or anything.
I think they implied that when Ivan and his wife were skinny, but he's freaking...
Well, he built him to be a tank, man.
True.
Ivan knows how to train and do steroids. I'm giving my point for characters. I think Adonis is well done. He's got a couple cheesy moments. How he always gets pissed off against his mentor. It's a little standard, par for the course. But other than that,
I don't know why. At first, I was like, I got the vibe from Spartacus.
Yeah.
What's her name? Crix's wife. Or girlfriend.
Navia.
I don't know why. I got a vibe like...
Well, I do believe she is played by the same actress as Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok.
It's been a while since I've seen Thor Ragnarok.
Good.
I don't know why. I got a vibe off. I thought she was gonna be like annoying, and I wasn't really gonna like her. But then, like as the movie progressed, and I started seeing more characteristics. Pregnant. I mean, she was like deaf. She was a musician, singer. I feel like it all ended up, and I really started liking her like a lot. I mean, she was up there on my favorite character list.
Right.
So I will give him my point for characters.
All right. Full point there. Acting.
Terrible. Absolute. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I'll give my point.
I definitely give it my point. I mean,
as much as the characters are exaggerated human characteristics, I thought they were well exaggerated.
I want to focus more on the fights that went on. I've seen not a lot. Well, okay, I've seen a lot of movies that have fighting in it, not specifically boxing, but obviously a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
And usually, like, I'll be interested in the fight, but I can also at the same time sitting there, I'm like, oh, that was such a fake punch. Like in this movie, I was like on the edge of my seat. I mean,
they are edge of your seat. Like I remember the first fight in, like I was sitting there like, ooh,
yeah,
because man, they're moving fast,
and
like,
hands
are
so
flying.
Real. Like just the way that when you got punched, the way they perceived it made it look so real. I mean, it was Jesus Christ.
Yeah, caught that one. Didn't get the last one.
I don't know. I feel like specifically with the fighting, all of the acting was good.
Yeah.
Especially Sylvester Stallone's. But I love Sylvester Stallone. Expendables all the way. But the fighting, yeah, it went down. It was really good.
I will say, and I guess we can talk about this more in the first movie, but like Michael B. Jordan is the clear choice for this character.
What?
Creed.
Yes, I agree.
Whatever. I'm done with you. Full point for acting. Dialogue.
I don't know why. This is going to sound really weird, and I'm probably pretty dumb for thinking this. It really annoyed me when he called Bianca B for some reason. Obviously, they're trying to make it a really modern movie.
You know, movies are really annoying. Like, sometimes you don't need a pet name for your girlfriend. Sometimes you can just call her by her name.
I mean, I think Bianca's a beautiful name. There's no reason to be like, hey, yo, what's up, B? I see that on memes, not in movies. That's just me. I guess sooner or later they're going to start adding things like this into the dictionary, and one of these days it's going to be the normal lingo.
The only dialogue I can even recall from the movie is the moments when Ivan is like, break him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For dialogue, I would fully give it my point. Definitely.
I'm not going to.
Jesus.
Because I can't remember like any of the dialogue from the movie.
You can't.
You know what? I might have changed my mind. I might have taught myself because like the proposal scene and various other things were well done, convincing dialogue there. So I'm gonna give it my point. Visuals.
I feel like that can go up with acting in a way, in a sense. With me, it can.
I think visuals mostly goes into the fights.
Yeah, because that's where most of my acting came from. That's why I gave it the point. Was mostly the fights. So I would say with visuals, again going back to acting. Just
you know what? This is the moment when we can actually get in depth on the fights. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the moment when I'm going to bring out my favorite moment in the movie.
I
Probably your favorite moment in the movie.
If it's not everybody's.
It's not like the second or the third. It's not the time when Ivan gets just thrown down or whatever. And yeah, it's not the time when the towel gets thrown in. It's not the end of the fight. It is the first time that Creed knocks him to the ground.
He took him out.
That is like one of the best just punches I have ever seen thrown in a movie.
I don't know if you noticed it. It's like they did really well with how they staged that, because obviously the first punch, it has to be really good when he takes him out, but they like for a split second they like sort of tone down the background noise and make it go quiet, and then you just hear a and Victor's down on the ground.
And then, like, immediately it starts blasting the OG Rocky theme.
And everybody's cheering in the background.
Chills. Literal chills.
Actual chills. It was so good.
I remember, like, when that happened, because, like, his head cocks back just a little bit when he gets punched, and then he throws forward. And, like, dude, I literally jumped out of my seat, was like, Carson, that man just got knocked the hell out!
It was... There's no other word to explain it except for phenomenal.
It was amazing. It was like...
I loved it.
Every other part of every fight could have been crap, which it wasn't. They were all great.
But if they had that, you would have been satisfied.
Yeah, because that was so good. It's hard to talk about it without getting in that tone of voice where you're like just pushing words out, like so good.
So yes, definitely
full point there. Soundtrack,
obviously,
it was good.
I haven't.
I mean, the fact they threw the original Rocky theme in that scene helps a lot.
Well, actually, that's the only. Other than that, it was.
Well, there's a lot of stuff from like Bianca singing, and a lot of rap stuff for like his entrances and whatnot.
I feel like yeah, okay, with Bianca singing, that's that goes in really well as a soundtrack, because it also goes in with her character. She's deaf, she's a singer. But other than that, it's like I feel like with all the other fights, now going back to what I said earlier about the movies, not seeing them, I feel like it's just, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it's just they were like, this song sounds cool for an entrance, we'll put that in there.
Yeah.
Did it have any significance, or was it just another song?
As far as I understand, it's just a song. It's more contemporary, I'll say, which, I mean, well, I suppose contemporary is a bit of a professional word to use there. It's more modern.
Yeah.
Like it's what Creed has a feel for.
I can't remember exactly, but I feel like they're smart enough to the songs they include, with entrances, and things such as that. I feel like they're smart enough to know if they choose a song for that, the words in that song have to portray it too.
And I will say, I know Creed isn't trying to be his dad. That was a big thing in the first one, I believe, is that like he doesn't want to be his father.
Yeah. He
wants to be his own man. And even going into the ring with Drago or whatever, it's not about his father. That they made that point, but like, I mean, come on. You could have had a living in America. Come on.
Yeah. I feel like, for me personally, I'm not going to give it the point for soundtrack.
I don't think I will either.
Just because it was the only things that really I feel like had a lot of meaning behind them was the Rocky theme song and I want to say Bianca's music, but I feel like that was just adding on to the current storyline, not like past movies.
Now hold up, like I'm reevaluating. The music during the fights really good.
Yeah, I mean,
music during the fights really good. They brought in the original Rocky theme, used that very well. The Bianca scene, that was good. The other scenes with her singing, good. The first entrance where it's got like the lights and whatnot, I mean, it fit his kind of feel. He is a more modern, more rap-based kind of guy.
Yeah, and the lyrics did portray to the fight.
I want to bring up again the Never Back Down scene. The music takes place during that. Good. They did that because, like, you know, it fades when he like collapses into the ground.
Yeah. Then
like he gets on up. I'll give him my point for soundtrack.
Yeah, we sort of got off on a tangent there. Yes, point for soundtrack. Yeah. Okay.
You're welcome not to just between the Never Back Down scene. Oh, I gotta Never Back Down 2. And the Rocky theme, Bianca's parts. And just the overall general applicableness of rap to Adonis Creed.
Yeah, I'll give it my point.
All right. Tone. Yes, this movie is extremely tonally sound. There's seldom a moment that doesn't fit in. It's all melodrama. There's no... even the training montages, they're not the usual training montage. Usually, like, Rocky's training montages are, like... kind of their own little separate entity, but this training montage it's emotional, like it's a underdog triumph story in its own right. So
what do you think about the I guess you could sort of consider it comedy that they had at the beginning when Adonis was proposing, and he went into the bathroom. I love this part.
And she was deaf.
Yeah she didn't have her hearing aid in, and he went in there and he said all this really nice stuff. And then he gets down on one knee, and she puts her hearing aid and turns around. She's like, "Well, wait, what?" I feel like that fit in. I love the fact that they could go from that, but yet still be serious.
Yeah, that was a good scene. That was one of the reasons I gave the point for dialogue. Is that scene? Yeah. That was a good scene. So yeah, full point. Impact.
I feel very impacted by this movie. It made me change a lot of things in my life.
See, that's why I have to change. That's why I have to change it to reception, because you say that every time. I'm gonna let's look at the review, shall we? 8 out of 10 on IMDb, 83% on Rotten Tomatoes, 67 on Metacritic, 97% like this movie. Well, it's killing it, so I'm gonna give it my point.
Yeah,
and plus, just bringing back such like a monumental character. A lot of people say that Rocky IV is like a bad Rocky movie. I don't think so, man. I think it's like peak Rocky. But yeah, I'm gonna give it my point because it really wrapped things up as far as that storyline goes. I think really well.
What do you think about them? And you did mention this. It was either in the car or the movie theater. Do you think they're actually going to make it in a movie where the child that Adonis and Bianca had is going to grow up and be a fighter?
Well, remember, Rocky's grandson is first.
Yes.
And then like 5 years after that, then we get, what can we call him? Well, it's a girl, so it's going to be Aphrodite Creed. No, I don't actually remember what they named the girl. And as far as I know, from what I've seen, Sylvester Stallone's Instagram and whatnot, it seems like this is the end of Rocky's story.
Yeah.
Like, from what I've seen, like, I don't think he'll be in the next movie.
The question is then, who will be?
Apollo Creed? Return from the Dead?
Zombie fight.
Old school...
I ain't dead. Okay, so yes,
full point for Impact.
I would give it my full point.
Opinion. I'm not gonna give my point.
Jesus Christ, you wouldn't give your point for?
It was an okay movie to me. I did not come out of it thinking wow as much as you did. It was okay. Like
then again, God, I hate saying this. Then again, you've seen the rest of the movies. I have not. So
I mean, it's your opinion point, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take your opinion point. That's you. That ain't me.
I'm gonna give it, for my opinion, I'm gonna give it full point because I mean, I've only seen a few actual movies that are based around boxing, fighting, MMA, things like that. And like, I don't get me wrong, I love Never Back Down. I seriously do. But at the same time, it has more of a, maybe it's the fact they're high schools, it has more of a quote unquote childish feel to it, and like not as serious. And this one just felt more real. So I feel like because of that, because they made it feel so real, and like I was there, I'm definitely gonna give it my point.
Got you. We're sitting at an 8 right now. 8 out of 10.
Oh wait, you didn't give it your point, so yes, we are at an 8.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I've done the math here, bud. 8 out of 10. I'm gonna take a half point away.
Jesus Christ, you're a monster.
I'm taking away my half point. I don't think it's an 8 out of 10. I do not think as a film that it is up there with other movies we've given 8 out of 10. Maybe the first one would be, but
I feel obviously they follow a storyline throughout all the movies. I mean, it's not like your typical Office TV show where it's like you can start anywhere and it would make just as much sense. So you can do that. I feel like I can't do anything with that until I see the rest of the movies. I feel like I can't make a call on that.
okay. So 7.5.
Yes.
All right. Our official Toasty Show off the reel rating for Creed 2 is 7.5. I imagine some people disagree with that.
Probably. And there's probably some people, well, both ways. There are probably some people that agree it should be more. And there's probably some people out there that think it should be less.
I don't feel that I tore this movie apart. I feel that I gave this movie a fair chance. And like I have no predisposition to not like this movie.
I mean, it followed.
7.5 is a good score.
From what I've
I think
heard,
it's better. Goonies was a 7, right? Or was it 7.5?
I can't remember. I want to say 7.5.
Well, Goonies has history behind it too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's good.
I feel, from what I've heard from multiple people and you, they did a good job at following the storyline. Like, it was like, you know, Star Wars. I know Star Wars pretty well. When you got to the Clone Wars and things like that, a lot of the OG Star Wars people, they were like, oh, this stuff sucks. They're like, give me a good Star Wars movie again, you know? And then once they start making the new ones, you know, Rogue, all that, it's getting back to the core of what Star Wars is. Based on what I've heard, they did that really well with Creed 2. They got to the core of what Creed was about. And so, from what I've heard, you know, they did a really good job in following that.
So, if you would like us to review any of the Rocky movies and or Creed 1, let us know. Click the playlist at the end of the video to watch more movie reviews. Subscribe. And
Quick little announcement.
oh wait, Carson has started his own little YouTube channel, and I operate as the cameraman and or editing person in chief, in which he is going on treks.
It's mostly, I guess you could say vlogs. We're going to do a lot of hiking, trekking videos, things like that. It's going to be a lot of backpacking. If I can ever get the time, I want to do a week-long one where we are living out of our backpack for an entire week. Yeah, I know. It sounds tough. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff like that. We're going to do a lot of kit reviews, a lot of reviews on the places that we go to hike / trek. And if we ever get the chance out of school and things like that, out of state. Somewhere out of state. Our first video, it's still in the process of being edited. It will be posted soon, ASAP. Our YouTube channel is One Good Trek. It'll probably be very hard to find.
I'll throw it in the description.
Yeah. Throw it in the description. But that's our YouTube channel. We also have an Instagram. Trek. Or no, there's no period after Trek.
That would be silly.
That would be silly. Very silly. So yeah, go like, subscribe. Please, thank you.
Stay toasty.